Welcome to the Dan Sports Tips MLB Preview show for today, the 24th of May. Another solid night yesterday. The Nationals obviously let us down. Everything else came in. We're back to 70 points profit on the year. Quite a lot of plays tonight, so I'm going to get straight into it. I'm going to start with the Chicago Cubs and the St. Louis Cardinals. Michael Wacha is pitching tonight for St. Louis. He has been struggling with his control a little bit and has scuffled to an ERA approaching 8 in his last 3 starts. That number, of course, doesn't include the 4 unearned runs that he's allowed in that time period as well. He has struggled when he's faced the Cubs in recent times, going 0-3 with an 8.84 ERA in his last 4 starts against Chicago. The Cubs haven't been plating runs as well as they were earlier in the season. They've lost 6 of their last 8. But the lineup itself is too good to stay quiet for an extended period of time. We know that. Jason Hamill will pitch for Chicago tonight. He's already beaten the Cardinals once this year. He's 2-0 with a 2.77 ERA in his last 3 starts against the Cards during the regular season. So I think close to a coin flip, I'm willing to take Chicago in this matchup. I'm going to go back in with the Nationals tonight. Steven Strasburg's up for them. He's been excellent this year. He's 7-0 with a 2.80 ERA. These two pitchers, Strasburg and Harvey, did face off last week. Despite the Mets being more proficient against a right-handed pitcher, Strasburg lasted 6 innings in that game. He allowed a single run and struck out 10 as the Nationals won the game 9-1. Matt Harvey's struggles continued. He's now 3-6 with a 5.77 ERA on the year. He allowed 6 runs in less than 3 innings that day. He's allowed 11 runs over his last 2 starts, and he will need to improve drastically to keep the matchup close against the Washington lineup and a pitcher in Strasburg that we've seen has been really good all year. Washington can be inconsistent, but they can also be a powerhouse and put a lot of runs on the scoreboard at once. I'm willing to take them on a run line and assume that Strasburg's excellence and Harvey's struggles will continue in this matchup. Fairly strong opinion on the Boston Red Sox and the Colorado Rockies today. David Price has finally come in line with all of the metrics in his last couple of starts against Houston and Kansas City. I'm going to bank on his solid form continuing in this matchup, despite there being a couple of hitters for Colorado that do hit left-handed pitching very well. Arenado and Story are those 2 hitters. They're the ones that you fear on the Rockies against lefties. You don't know how well it's going to play against Price, who is an elite lefty when he's on his day, despite the early season struggles. The Red Sox are scoring runs at an almost historic rate, to be honest. It's difficult to imagine that stopping against Colorado starter Jorge De La Rosa today. He's making his first start back from the disabled list and carries an ERA of 10.18 for the year so far. He's allowed 7 home runs in 20 1/3 innings so far this year, which against a lineup that hits top to bottom for power like the Red Sox in a park like Fenway spells doom for Jorge De La Rosa. I'm going to play the over, because that's set at 8.5, which looks low. In case Price's struggles continue, I'm also going to play Boston -1.5 and Boston -3.5, and I think there's every chance that we could cop all 3 bets on this game, because I don't think Price's struggles will continue, but I do expect Boston to light the scoreboard up today. The next game I want to look at is Detroit Tigers and the Philadelphia Phillies. This is a matchup that pits one lineup that's hitting the ball very well at the moment and has got multiple potent home run threats against a team that is among the lowest run producing lineups in baseball. Justin Verlander has been excellent his last 3 trips to the mound for the Tigers. He's allowed just 4 earned runs across 22 1/3 with at least 8 strikeouts in each of his last 3 starts. Jeremy Hellickson has pitched well. He's up for Philadelphia today, but he hasn't faced an offense anywhere near the sort of threat level that the Tigers pose. The Tigers have been historically, he's struggled a little bit, should I say, with the home run, which is an area where the Tigers, particularly the last few games, have been excelling. I mean, Cabrera's now hitting them out. He hit 3 in the last 2 games, 2 last night. Castellanos, JD Martinez. Victor Martinez hits right-handed pitching very well. Justin Upton may not play today, but I'm not convinced that Detroit are going to miss him there, to be honest. If Verlander shuts down the Phillies as expected, it's very difficult to see past Detroit winning this game. And at shade over even money, I'm happy to take a much more efficient run-scoring lineup in the Tigers, when I think the Tigers also have the best of the pitching matchup as well. I'm going to take San Francisco against the Padres, because the Giants beat the Padres. It's what they do. Jeff Samardzija will pitch for San Francisco tonight. He has beaten the Padres twice already this season and pitched extremely well the last time, allowing a single run in 8 innings. The other start wasn't as good, I'll give you that. He allowed 5 runs, but the Giants did still get the win. Andrew Cashner will oppose for San Diego. He's had an awful time of things at AT&T Park. He's 0-5 with a 7.28 record in San Francisco. San Francisco has lost once. That was to the mighty Cubs in their last 12 games. I will look for them to stamp their authority on a team that they've made a habit out of beating. They've beaten San Diego 7 times in 7 games this year, so we'll take San Francisco on a run line and we'll buy a couple of runs as well, just in case Cashner's struggles continue as well. And the final game I want to look at today is the Arizona Diamondbacks visiting the Pittsburgh Pirates. Shelby Miller's up for Arizona today. He's had a horrible time of it since the trade from Atlanta. He is, however, getting better. He's allowed no more than 3 earned runs in any of his last 3 starts. He gets a little bit of a reprieve taking the mound in a pitcher's park in PNC Park in Pittsburgh today. Now, while the Pirates lineup is no easy ride for a pitcher, as they do hit well for average, I think there might be a play on Arizona here. Francisco Liriano's up for Pittsburgh. Now, Arizona have been swinging the bat excellently in the last few days. They've got a number of hitters who crush left-handed pitching. Liriano has been much better at home than he has on the road this year. I think he's allowed something like, it's only 3 or 4 runs across the 3 home starts that he's made this year. I'm willing at the prices to take a chance that the Diamondbacks will continue their excellent hitting against lefties and put some runs on the board, and that Shelby Miller can remain at least competent, because the price on the money line for Arizona's insanity. I'm going to play Arizona on the money line, and I'm also going to buy for run lines as well, just in case they can get to Liriano and get to him big, because he can occasionally have control issues. And if they can hit a few balls out, there is a light wind blowing out there today. The question mark for this for me really is Shelby Miller. If we can get a decent pitching day out of him, if he can get through Pittsburgh and only give up a couple of runs, then there's every chance we can cop on this bet. That's the plays I've got for you today. Best of luck if you're having a play. Play ball.